everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. This is really fun. We are here to talk with more of our Hallmark writers, and we love talking to the Hallmark writers. And I'm film critic Rachel Wagner, and Dory's here.
Hi, everyone.
And we have writers Julie Kim and Karine Marwood here, and they have written a couple of different Hallmark scripts, and including the most recent Mix Up in the Mediterranean. And we really enjoyed that film, so we thought it'd be fun to have you on and get to hear about your stories and how you come up with your work. And thank you so much, lady, for joining us on the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for the invite. That was so sweet of you guys.
Yeah, we're so
really
excited.
To be here. Thank you.
Yeah, so what we like to do is we like to start out finding out about your inspiration, how you decide to become writers. But in this case, we also kind of want to know, how did the two of you end up working together? Because I think all of your projects you've done together. And so, I don't know, Julie, what about you? Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Julie Kim, and I actually always loved film, just like Karine has. And so we've always had a passion for watching movies. And I think one day we just thought we could probably write something. And we just decided that let's just like buckle down. And Karine actually was the one who said, because we've known each other since high school. So that's why we kind of finish each other's sentences sometimes. And we've written skits, all through high school. And so I think when we actually had the chance, because Karine had said that she knew of this screenwriting course, why don't we take it? And so we just took it one weekend, because we didn't even know the format of how to write a screenplay. Like when we wrote the cover page, I think our font was huge. And I think, everything about the formatting was all wrong, because it was so new to us, because we never studied that in school. Yeah. So, because our background was in science, Karine had computer science, I had life sciences. So it just didn't, we loved film and we loved writing together. We just didn't know the other part of it. I could have written a scientific report, and Karine probably could have written some sort of computer programming of something, but it was just something that we just had a passion for. And that's how it all started.
Yeah, you were just like in regular Word or
regular everything.
Yeah, not in Final Draft or anything like that.
Yeah. We did get Final Draft because we didn't actually start writing until we went on that screenwriting course or the seminar. And so the prof there, I guess the professor was saying, there are different tools that you can purchase. And didn't I win some kind of raffle or something? I think I won the Final Draft software, or the initial one that he was giving out. And so that's what we started with, was Final Draft. But it was a really good tool.
We love Final Draft. Like, not that we have investment.
No stocks.
Well, Karine, what about you? How did you kind of get started? Was this kind of the same process? And how did you two originally meet?
So we met in high school. We went
wow.
in Thornhill, which is just with the suburbs of Toronto, and we, as Julie mentioned, we used to write French skits together, because here we're a bilingual country. We do everything in French and English, so we would write French skits, and we just loved the process. And over the years, we were roomies at university, and we were BFFs. And again, as Julie mentioned, we would go to the movies together, and then we said one day, like, why don't we just do something and try this craft? I personally always wanted to be a writer, but my dad was an engineer, and coming from like an immigrant family, it was very much, follow the sciences, pursue the sciences. There's more money in the sciences. So, more opportunities. And so I sort of parked my love of writing, but even through university, I would take English courses as my electives, and I would write, and it was just something fun. And Julie was a really good writer too, and we just had sort of a similar voice. And so we just continued writing when we went on the screenwriting course, and then we entered some screenwriting competitions, and we actually won one of them. So that's what fueled us sort of that encouragement that, wait a minute, we might have a chance here. Because in the seminar we took, they said that it's really hard to get a screenplay actually produced. Everyone has the dream or the desire, but really it's only 1%, we were told, of scripts that ever really get made. And that's such a low percentage. So, the odds were stacked against us, especially since we we never studied it in school. We didn't have a network to even draw upon to help us. So yeah.
But I mean, I think the thing that we always thought was, well, it was 1%, and that was the professor telling us this, but we thought, well, at least some movies get made. So we want to be part of that 1%. Like, we don't want to be part of the 99%. So yeah. Yeah. We just thought we'll do it. And, they always say, like, do something that you have fun doing. And we're always cracking up, like, when we write, and when we write terrible things, or, and if it's a hard, like, day because we're stuck, then we know that we're not writing it properly. And if it's easy, then we know, okay, we're on the right track. So
if it writes itself, we know we're on the right track, and we have a passion for it. So I think in this business, you have to have, thick skin. You have to be okay.
Rejection.
Rejection. And just have the passion, and which will fuel the perseverance and patience, and also some luck and being in the right place sometimes at the right time.
Yeah, but I think the bottom line is you have to have a strong script. I mean, we knew that it's you can have luck, you can have all of that, you can have the background and everything, but if the script needs work, like, somebody will tell you, and so you have to listen to the constructive criticism, as well as, the things they like, the things that you need. Even if you love a certain character, you might have to kill them off. That's just the process, right?
Ego at the door.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That is just a great story. I love the fact that you met in high school and that you're still BFFs, and even after working together, you're still BFFs, which is not easy to do sometimes.
Well,
right.
It's tough too, because Karine is not a night person, and so I always know we've written too long, when her left eye twitches or shuts down, and then okay, we better stop. Like, we gotta take it easy. And I'm not a morning person. Like, we're like the complete. So yeah, so we find a balance somehow. You almost have to, right? In a writing team, you have to.
Yeah. And we write every word together. So
we even write emails together. We write like just regular notes to people together. It's really obsessive.
Very collaborative.
Yeah.
And when I joked and said you park egos at the door, I think that's very important. So, we'll throw out a line or an idea, and I can always tell if it's good, because Julie immediately would say, yeah, I like that, put it down, or it's like, okay, maybe not, and vice versa. So we work well together. So far it's worked. We've done Love Blossoms for Hallmark, and Mix Up in the Mediterranean, which we're so proud about, and we're so happy to be part of the Hallmark family now. And we love everything that Hallmark represents, and we're just really happy to see, to be part of the new direction that it seems to be going in as well. So.
You ever have where the one person writes something, you're like,
oh yeah, for sure. you have to, because it might just be a really, I don't know, a bad line or a bad something, but more often than not, usually we're on the same page. Like, sometimes we'll think of it at the same time. We'll be like, oh, yes, and you don't even say words. It's just expressions, and it's just, I think part of it is because we've known each other for so long, and usually the things that make her laugh make me laugh too. And it was the same in high school. Like, we clicked right away. I think we met in art class, actually, not in English or French. It was in art class, and clearly we go the art route. Like, we're not, we're not going to be the next artists, but we still had fun even then. And I think that's what kept us going, like our friendship, and moving on to even being together in like university as well. So it's just one of those things that was very seamless. And because everyone's met people who you click right away, and that's been us since day one.
Mm-hmm. And we formed our own production company shortly after we won one of those screenwriting competitions. So it's Skyward Productions, SKYWORD. We thought we were very clever with the wording.
I like it.
So yeah, it's been good so far.
Yeah, that's great.
It's been quite an adventure.
Love it. I love that. So with Love Blossoms, how did you even become involved in Hallmark, or have the idea of writing a Hallmark movie, or How did that all happen?
Well, with Love Blossoms, it was actually formerly called Heaven Sent. Again, wordplay SCENT. So
Because
we
it's
had
perfume.
actually, yeah, because of
Yeah.
the perfume, but we had actually written that script prior to Hallmark getting on board. So it wasn't developed in tandem with Hallmark. We had written a fully fleshed out a script. And then our producers, Leaf and Agnes Bristow, read it, and they wanted another writing sample from us. And when we sent that to them, they're like, "Oh my gosh, we love this script." So they thought it would be great for Hallmark. And sure enough, when Hallmark read it, they loved it, and they, had to change the title. We had to modify it a little bit because to make it a bit more Hallmark friendly. So that's how Love Blossoms came to be. And we're so excited. This is a little off topic, but we're so excited because the two leads, Chantal Vincent and Victor Webster, fell in love on and off set. And we recently heard that they got engaged. Yay, congratulations. We played Cupid a little bit, we'd like to think. In our character falling in love. So we just love little things like that when they happen, because we love rom-coms. We're romantics at heart. So when it translates, off the page into real life too, it's heartwarming.
I was going to ask you about that.
You have to feel pretty excited that your words helped them fall in love a little bit.
Oh, we like to.
We hope so.
That's how I interpret it, because I love Love Blossoms. So that's how I feel. I'm like, oh, they fell in love reading those beautiful words. So.
Yeah, and I think being in Belgium probably helped a little too.
Probably.
Yeah, pretty scenic there.
Yeah,
I can imagine. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they want to name their children after us, we're good with it. or even their dog. Like, we're good with that too.
Yeah. If you're listening, Victor and Chantal, now you know. Which I'm sure you are. That's great.
Yeah, we really think they did the script proud, and they brought the characters to life. And it's funny because Julie and I never liked, we weren't really into perfume. We're not really the people who wear and try all the latest perfumes, but we are very intrigued with the process of perfume making. So the science behind it and all of that, that's what sort of inspired that script. So
well, because Karine actually went to Grasse, which is, I guess, the perfume capital of the world in France, and she got to see some of the ways that they kind of developed their own perfumes. And they were actually, because they were supposed to make a perfume, right? Molinard. They were Molinard.
So some of the oldest perfumeries in the world are there in Grasse, France. And this particular perfumery, Molinard, makes it or made a perfume for Queen Victoria. Ooh. And when we met with them again, and we were pitching the script way back then, before Hallmark came on board, we were like, wouldn't it be neat if we had a perfume premiering with the movie and have the actress, promote it? And so we saw all these visions of what it could be. So that was really neat, but seeing the perfumery in process, it sort of inspired the next version that became Love Blossoms. So it was really a fruitful
Jonathan Wright and the producers, everybody did such a great job on that, because you really felt that heart of it as well. So it just, we really enjoyed watching it as well.
Yeah. Very great.
I was going to ask what your research process was like for that. So that's really cool that you actually got to go and see live and in person. I mean, I was wondering if you just did a bunch of internet research and watched videos, but it's so nice that you got a more immersive experience.
Yeah, we actually met a proper chef for Mix Up in the Mediterranean, who I think you still have his book, right? He lent a book, I think.
He was,
but cooking book. Yeah.
He was participating in the Culinary Olympics. So sorry, we're switching.
The real one.
Yeah. Mix Up in the Mediterranean, but yeah, the process is a lot of Wikipedia, a lot of Googling. We start there. And then we'll dive deeper into, like Julie said, we'll talk to a chef if we're doing a cooking movie. I mean, I happen to be going to the south of France, and so I planned the side trip to bring work into it, to do the perfume research. And it just adds a level of richness and depth that, you know, you can't put everything into the movie, because like you also don't want to lose your audience with too much of the science. So it is a fine balance of how much science, how much of the actual world that we're trying to create do you put into the script.
Yeah, because ultimately it's still a love story, regardless of what it is. So you can't forget that. With Hallmark movies, you have to fall in love with the characters, and you have to, you know, fall in love with all of it. So, you know, we understand that. It's not that we're just gonna throw at, you know, all sorts of scientific, you know, scientific gobbledygook, you know, we're gonna do other things as well. So,
well, and I guess there must really be people who have the like super sense. Who can, like, the
Karine
perfume palette.
I actually do. When I was younger, we used to get the National Geographic magazines way back when they would deliver it to your home. And there was a test in there, and I did the test. And then the results, and you mail it in, and then the results came back saying that I had like a near canine sense of smell. So,
and I've been there where she'll say, wait a minute, did somebody have some vanilla or something? Like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, you can see that she's like, someone put something in this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm as good as the ney or the noses that they're called, right? Where they can like blend and create perfumes. I'm not going to say that I'm anywhere near to that, but I can smell different notes, and I'm like a centrifuge machine. I'm sure my nose can detect different scents.
We can only use it for good. Yeah.
That is amazing. Near canine is pretty, I mean, that's pretty intense. That's awesome.
So you have to shower when you're around me. No, I'm kidding.
I love that. But speaking of the perfume, did you like, you said you weren't really perfume people necessarily, but after you wrote that movie and got the experience of like seeing how it's made, do you have a new appreciation for fragrance, and do you have any favorites personally?
100% we have a new appreciation for it, that's for sure, because it's so layered, right, Julie?
Yeah,
definitely. And even, well, I was going to say, even like how it smells different on different people. Yes. So that was something new. We were just like, what? You just spray it and that's it. And I think part of the reason why a lot of times we personally don't spray it, well, I mean, she has her canine senses, but also I think because a lot of places you go to, you're not allowed to wear any scents.
Fragrance-free, schools, and hospitals.
You know, but the smell of things we both enjoy, like different, because you even brought some samples back, I think, from Molinard, right?
I did bring. I'm not a big perfume person now, but I do like that extreme vanilla smell that it's the French perfume just at Sephora.
Sephora. The famous Sephora. You went to the oldest perfumery in France. You're going to Sephora?
It's from France. It's extreme. It's called Extreme Vanilla, and it just reminds me of like a bakery and like cakes, cupcakes.
Just go to your kitchen cabinet. You could just like. But yeah,
that's what I use now. I'll spray it on, and my daughter and my niece are like, "Oh, it smells like cupcakes." So I think I just like getting a rise out of the kids, and I don't know. But anyway, do you have a favorite, Julie?
You know, it's funny because I did for a little bit. I got a little sample of Estee Lauder. I think it's called Passions or something. And I just dabbed a little bit. But, you know, it's funny when I've seen TV shows or in the movies, you know, they spray it. They go,
yes.
And that shocked me because I was just putting like a little, you know, just to have a little scent of something. It was surprising. That's all, you know, but
well, again, I think there's the pulse points that we learned in our research, right? Where it's like on the wrist,
just on the side, dab.
Just a dab.
Why would you guys have favorites? You must have favorites.
Yeah, I have J'adore. I have that. I don't wear it very often. I mean, I hardly leave my house these days, so. But I also have the Celine Dion perfume. I mean, I've had a bottle of that for years. Because you just use so little. But the one thing I don't like is when you have the kind of the Bath and Body Works, you smell like a fruit salad.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know why anybody ever thought that wearing cucumber, the cucumber melon, I don't want to smell like
I
cucumber.
think it's a refreshing smell. Maybe it's the spa smell, where they put the cucumbers on your eyes.
Yeah.
No, thank you. So that's the only kind of strong opinions I have on perfume. I don't know. What about you, Dory?
There's a company called Ellis Brooklyn that I really like, and I basically got like a little sampler kit of theirs for like $20, and I loved every single fragrance in there. Which shocked me because I'm not really a huge perfume either, and I like more like subtle scents, but man, these were so good. So everyone check out Ellis Brooklyn. They're great.
You're gonna think we're like plugging and promoting.
I know.
We'll take swag.
They're not a sponsor, but I highly recommend.
We're ready if you want. If we'll do a great job. Sponsor.
Totally.
I think Hallmark should come up with a perfume line. Here we go. They're
I'm surprised they honestly haven't done that.
I am too. I'm surprised they haven't.
Idea.
A natural fit.
Really good with Love Blossoms, especially. I think it's been so cool to see.
Well, like all the holidays, you could, especially Christmas.
Yes.
You could have all kinds of Christmassy perfumes or whatever. But it was funny. I was talking to one of my friends who is Jewish and hasn't really watched much Countdown to Christmas, and she was like, they keep talking about Christmas chicken, Christmas food, Christmas pasta, Christmas, and she's like, what does that mean? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, just put cranberry sauce on it. Christmas. I think that's what it comes down to. It's Christmas chicken. It's got cranberry sauce.
We'll have to prepare a platter for her next time.
Yeah. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. They're the good folks over at the Bundle Game and Hardy's Ass Bundle Listen, from the creators of the Countdown to Christmas Hallmark Channel board game. There's now an official When Calls the Heart board game. Test your When Calls the Heart knowledge, recall your favorite show moments, and celebrate season 8.
This game is so much fun. Like the Name 4 card, name your 4 favorite episodes of When Calls the Heart.
Not sure if I could narrow it down to just 4.
Or this Acted Out card, Love Triangle.
That's a fun one.
You can have these and many other cards in this fun game, When Calls the Heart board game. You can get your game at www.thebundlegame.com. Enter code Hallmarkies Podcast for free shipping. That's both words, Hallmarkies Podcast, free shipping. It's really fun. All kinds of trivia and fun stuff about your favorite show. So make sure to check out the When Calls the Heart board game at www.thebundlegame.com. Enter code Hallmarkies Podcast for free shipping. Anyway, so speaking of Christmas, so then you guys did Nostalgic Christmas, and this was based on a book, right?
It was, and we were the story consultants. We didn't actually.
So you did a rewrite.
Well, we didn't do the rewrite. We just consulted with them on direction of the script, and So,
well, because I think the book originally, it's Kevin Major. No, what's it? Kevin Major? Kevin Miner? I can't remember. But I think it was a children's script initially, I think, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
I think we had to kind of bring it into a Hallmark-esque world, but it was just ideas. Like we didn't write the drafts or anything like that.
Because the book is like Magical Santas or something like that, right? Wooden Santas.
Something like that.
Well,
the wooden Santas, yeah.
Yes, and they inspire and bring different messages of a hope and things like that. I think that script went through different iterations too, like quite a few. Mm-hmm. And it deviated from the book as well.
It had to almost, because it wasn't.
The target audience was so different. Like it wasn't a children's book. It's, even though Hallmark movies appeal to from 9 to 81, like it's such a wide range of people. But
because if I recall correctly, that book that movie had 2 Christmas stores, not just 1. Mm-hmm. And there was hers that had the Christmas Santas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And they were like magic Christmas Santas, right? Like brought good luck.
They're always
let's
magic.
just say some of our ideas did not make it.
Because yeah,
So yeah, we can move on from that.
but I remember because the woodcutter was on Twitter and she was amazing. I mean, incredibly talented. And she was all talking about all of her Santas. I was like, that's really cool. Anyway.
Well, I mean,
so-
you know, the traditional wooden toys are really quite beautiful.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I was just watching Rick Steves Europe with my daughter, and they were showing the Christmas market in Germany. And when you see these wooden Santas and wooden Christmas toys, they really are elaborate, and they are like so traditional, and they go back, you know, hundreds or thousands of years, and they're so beautiful. Like they had like this really intricate, almost like a carousel. And I mean, if those had been the type of wooden toys that you would see in a wooden store, I could see how it'd be like so sad to close something like that
Yeah.
down. But you know, if it's just a wooden train, you know, there's not a lot nowadays with the kids and all their videos
Right.
games, all that, like it's not gonna cut it.
It's a
Yeah, I
sad
did give you an
world.
Xbox. Yeah.
Sad world that we live in.
Are you ladies interested in writing your own Christmas movie for Hallmark?
We would love to.
Yeah.
I think you should.
Yeah.
You got any ideas, Dory?
Oh, do we have ideas?
Yeah, let me think about it. I'll send you a full list.
I'll do that. We'll credit you.
We've done a couple pitch sessions here where we just throw out ideas, and there we will not. You don't have to worry about copyright or anything. You can use all the ideas in the pitch sessions. But yeah, we have no shortage of ideas.
Fantastic, because sometimes you know the ideas don't always come, or they come a little bit too late, and we're like, hey, that's it, we're gonna create the world of whatever, like the cranberries. Sorry, it's it's already coming out. It's like, oh shoot, we're a little bit too late.
But don't be scared off by the names, because a lot of times they have no real connection to the actual movie at all.
Yeah. Well,
very true.
we do have another romantic comedy that's going to be filmed in the next few weeks.
Ooh.
Yes, and this one is actually in the world of maple syrup, and that one does have a lot to do with maple syrup.
Ah.
And it's being produced by Nintendo, and we're really excited to have.
That'll probably be a fall movie.
Well, it was supposed to be filmed last year, but because of COVID, it
pushed back.
They that because of that. I mean, obviously it shut down everyone. So we were just thrilled that they're now pushing it towards March. Like, we're thrilled about that because, as every good Canadian knows, that's when maple syrup is actually tapped. So it's like the springtime, right? So it's it might actually be a good thing that it was pushed maybe a little bit.
We'll look forward to Maple Your Heart coming out in fall 2021.
Maple Your Heart. That's a great title. We should have thought of that.
Yeah, we should have totally thought of that.
Well,
You're natural.
It's okay. You can still use it.
That's good. Yes, we can.
We'll send you a maple syrup bottle.
Yes.
And all the pain.
Deal. All right. So now we have Mix Up in the Mediterranean.
Yes.
And this to me felt like an homage to sort of screwball comedy of the 40s. And I don't know if that was kind of your intent with kind of all the liars and the madcap kind ofness of it all. But I really enjoy those. And I've wanted there to be a little bit more comedy in Hallmark, and I'm excited to see them embracing that a little bit more. And so I was just wondering, kind of, was that what you were going for?
Well, I mean, I think part of it is that because whenever there's like deception, it kind of comes that way. So, we were cracking ourselves up when we wrote the scene where, he's hugging, Meg, and his brother's coming, and, and they're about to be face to face. So I think it kind of has that, I don't know if it's unintentional or not, but it just has that kind of moment where you're just doing that physical comedy of, get out of here, I'm with my girl. And so I think that for us, it just kind of came naturally in many spots, because when you're pretending to be someone, it's like any kind of, I think, what was it? Lindsay Lohan, she did not a romantic comedy where she was the twin, right? Of, I think, was it
like Parent Trap?
Parent Trap, yeah. And it kind of lends itself to that, I think, because there's always moments where they might run into each other, or they might, say the wrong thing, being the wrong twin. So
And
I
you
think
need some of that brevity too, right? You need a little bit of that lightheartedness and the humor to sort of offset some of the other themes, like with the sibling rivalry and the deception. Yeah, and you don't want it to be taking itself too seriously. You want to have it still be uplifting and light to watch, especially
and that's fun, flirty.
time.
Yeah. That's the fun, flirty part, when she doesn't know, she's always thinking this is the one brother. And so I think it just kind of developed as it came, because how else would, because otherwise it becomes this doom and gloom thing. Like, who are you? Like, what have you done? And so of course it comes at the end, but during it, I think the fun part is the audience is in on all of that. But obviously the heroine is not. So yeah,
because I love movies like that, like Bringing Up Baby and just like real kind of screwball comedies are really fun. And I liked this one that they went all the way, because, and Dory and I disagree on this one, but they did another Switched for Christmas, where everybody knew that they were switched. And in this case, so it wasn't very funny to me. In this case, nobody knew that they had switched, except for obviously the people involved. Right. And so then there was so much humor involved, because it was just craziness.
We love that. That's the part that appealed to us. Like, wouldn't it be fun if, right? And it was a lot of fun writing it. It was really a lot of fun. It made us laugh. We thought, okay, it's gonna, make the majority of people laugh, we hope. And I mean, what actor too wouldn't want to spread his wings and play two roles, two brothers who are so different.
And Jeremy, he did such a great job.
He did fantastic job. His comedic timing is just flawless.
Yeah, he's so funny.
He is, and yet he can play sincere and romantic equally well. So like, he's got it all.
He had such great chemistry with Jessica Lowndes. Like, they really, really seemed to hit it off, and it showed. You felt it. So they did a really good job, because, Jonathan Wright, he directed it, and he also directed Love Blossoms. Yeah. So maybe who could have, that lighthearted kind of.
Is it hard when you're writing this kind of thing about people lying to keep them like still likable?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a fine line. It's a fine line, because, we're always told not lie, do not say you're something you're not. But I think you get away with it in a Hallmark film like this, just because you can see how sincere he is, like that he's trying to steal from anybody. He's trying to help his brother out who he loves. And so I think the intention and his heart is still pure. It's just, there's deception. There's definitely deception. So, but that's the obstacle, right? Yeah.
Did you always plan on having the representation with a gay couple, or was that something kind of new with the new leadership and everything going on at Hallmark?
No, it was like that from day one. The script, we wanted to write a story about two brothers, and we didn't think consciously, we have to have a gay, it has to be gay. It was just, wouldn't it be interesting if one was gay, one was straight? I mean, a lot of,
that's conflict.
That's conflict. But at their core, they really are the same. And what we really wanted to write with this movie, above everything else, was a love story. And it's a love story, not just between the, Meg and Josh, but it's a love story between like brothers, father and daughter. It's all the different relationships that make us who we are, and all the dynamics that exist in a family. And what I really appreciate too is, on a recent Hollywood Reporter article that I read, the new CEO, Ms. Lucas, saying that what she appreciated with Mix Up in the Mediterranean was that it was a messy script, like in the good sense. It's not like everything's tied up with nice little ribbons. And I love to see that that's the direction Hallmark is going at. From very first day though, Julie and I, when we wrote this, that's how we wrote it. Like, we just wrote it because life works that way, right? Like, not everything
is messy. and who you love. It's all of that. We all have, you know, people in our lives, family members, all, you might not like certain things, but you always love them, you know, about certain, you know, dynamics. So whether it's siblings, whether it's a loved one, you know, we didn't purposely say, let's write a love story that features a gay character. Like that's why I think it was more natural in terms of how it evolved. You know, it was always, we're just surprised actually that that it was kind of male driven, because, you know, a lot of Hallmark movies are female, like from the female. And so that in itself surprised us probably more, just because we were told that that's not the norm. Although, you know, maybe if they're kind of diversifying everything, maybe that's a part of it as well. So,
yeah. That's true. That's a good point. And you said that you consulted with a chef in writing the film?
We did.
Not that he like told us. He was just telling us like some of the pitfalls.
Okay. Yeah.
We said, like, what are some of the fun things or the things that happen?
Or what drives a chef crazy. Yeah.
And when he represented Canada in the Cooking Olympics, like he was saying all kinds of things, like, which didn't actually make it to the final cut, but it was like making a ballotine where there's air pockets in it and then spackling it with regatta cheese and fun things like that we kind of experimented with certain drafts of the script. But again, like it would take away from the romance of, you know, between Josh and Meg. So we didn't focus too much in the final draft of this on all those little techniques. But
yeah, because we just thought it was kind of funny that a guy who has no formal training, he's essentially a cook, and to fool people who trained all their lives or who, you know, are formally trained, and he would have, we thought, some obstacles to get out of, you know, if you're formally trained, you just kind of do it, but it wouldn't come naturally to him. But he's very clever, and he has his own place in Alaska, and he's trained just like his brother by their mother, you know, like all of the stuff that would kind of make him overcome those odds, but at the same time kind of have the kind of experience, the obstacles that a true chef would have in real life. And that's why talking to this guy was so great, because he could tell us stuff that we wouldn't know, we wouldn't have read about. He actually experienced it, and we thought, oh, wouldn't that be interesting to kind of be kind of so caught, you know, essentially with your pants down, you know, you're so caught about what to do and have to do it now. There's no going back. And we thought that the comedy of that would be kind of funny as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's
believable because he grew up cooking with his mother and his brother in the restaurant.
And he loves cooking. Yeah.
And he loves cooking, and he's passionate about it again. But like Julie said, like that's what gives it the believability factor too, that you can say, okay, well, I can see how he could be up there competing with the best of the best at the end. You know, it's different if he's just slinging, you know, burgers and bacon and eggs and not really experimenting with anything. But because we set it up that he's always experimenting and trying new things, hopefully, you know, the believability factor there.
Well, if it's a fancy restaurant, you just say it's rustic. It's a rustic tart.
And charge like 20% more. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that was one of the things we learned actually. Was it, who was it who taught us? Was it the chef? Where they call it potato bisque and they charge you so much more. But really bisque is soup made from shellfish. So you cannot actually ever call anything tomato bisque or potato bisque unless it has shellfish in it. But these fancy restaurants call
it's essentially tomato soup.
Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, just learning little things like that were kind of fun. But again, you can't put everything into a script.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
What else would you like to know about that?
Well, it was fun that it was filmed in Malta. That must have been a neat thing to have. Obviously, you know, you can go on set or anything, but like that must have been cool.
Yeah, so many people have said because of COVID, you know, nobody's traveled anywhere except to the grocery store. So to see like, you know, see the sun, and I mean, you get the sun, but the sun and the, you know, the water and all of that, everyone who I've spoken to, have said, now I want to go to Malta, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so we'll join you. I mean, it's just, I think they did a great job of promoting that, because you really felt that it was so warm and welcoming, and, you know, anyone can go there. And one of my friends was saying that, she's like, that's my first trip. I'm going to go to Malta. And I'm like, okay. I thought it was Machu Picchu, but now it's Malta.
You don't want to walk all those stairs. I've been to Greece when I was a teenager. I've never been to Malta, but
now you got to go.
I went to Malta years ago, and it was it was beautiful, and I can see how people fell in love.
I'm hoping when this is all over, it'll be really cheap to travel because they'll be promoting and stuff. That's my kind of hope.
Cheap, or it's going to be super expensive because everyone's going to have the same idea, and it's like supply and demand, and so they're like charging us an arm and a leg because everyone wants to go at once.
Oh, true. I can't wait.
That's going to be a great problem to have.
Yeah,
even the option would be nice.
I feel like I'm just going to need to carry tissues around because I'm just going to be like openly weeping at like everything. Like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that for
the tarmac, and oh my goodness. Well, until then we have escapism with these movies. So thank God Hallmark is still making the movies and giving people these outlets. Like, God bless them, honestly.
Well, I mean, even, it's funny, my sister-in-law, her mother, who is not a Hallmark viewer generally, she loves sports, and with COVID they shut and she'll watch any sports, like she'll watch anything sports related, but then COVID shut everything down. And so my sister-in-law was saying, then all of a sudden she's watching Hallmark movies because then again COVID happened, and then she wanted an escape, and now she loves them. Like she just so Hallmark movies definitely make people feel like happier and more more at ease, I think.
It's gotten us through it. It really has. There's no doubt about it.
For sure.
That's right.
Well, you two are completely lovely. It has been so great having you on, talking with you, getting to know you. We'll definitely have to have you back.
Thank you
so much.
Are there any other projects you're working on right now?
Yeah.
So other than the Maple one that we mentioned, we have like a series that we're working on. An episodic series, a drama, but it's nowhere near right now that we can sort of talk about it, other than it's something we're excited about. We have a few ideas and pitches that have garnered interest, but again, like COVID slowed a lot down, and so it's pushed projects out. So we just have to wait and see. There's a lot of the wait and see in this business, and unfortunately, with the way things have happened in the whole world.
But the ideas never stop. I mean, they're always there. It's probably besides COVID, it's probably what keeps us up at night. But there's always something. There's always something.
We hope we never stop writing. I mean, Julie's my best friend, and we have so much fun, and we love bringing it to life with fantastic, cast and crew and producers, and Hallmark.
They bring it to life.
That we're so blessed, and we're really fortunate, and we hope that we can continue and we can have more conversations like this.
What to talk about instead of what my grocery list is. When I'm going to do my laundry.
So do you have a social media or anything like that you want to share?
Oh gosh, this is the problem.
Not so much. That's fine. That's fine.
We're so bad at it. I mean, I think Karine has a LinkedIn, and
I have LinkedIn, and I'm on IMDb, but really, like, we're not on Twitter. We're not.
We're so about just the writing, and that part takes a lot to maintain. Yeah. And I think it's funny. Well, exactly. And it's funny because on IMDb, I'm like one of, I think, 10 Julie Kims. I'm number 7, by the way. Karine keeps hounding me saying, you got to put pictures up. You got to do something. And I'm like, I will get to it. I will definitely do that sometime this year. So, I'll put up some pictures. I'll put up some facts. I'll put up some trivia. I'll do something because, the other stuff we've been very lax at. And
Instagram seems to be like the safest one, but it's all right. It doesn't matter.
Save your sanity. Save your sanity. Social media can be a lot.
I remember I went out with a friend of mine for dinner, and she's just constantly on her phone. Okay, wait, sorry, I gotta like this. Oh wait, no, I have to do this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, like, why did we go out for dinner?
Got to take a picture of the food. Yeah.
Everything. I was like, I don't want to be that person. And I think,
Yeah.
you know, if when I get deeply involved in something, like I throw everything into it. And with that personality, I think it might be best if I
Yeah.
sort of stay on the periphery for now.
Yeah.
If people need to reach us, they can reach us. I mean, we have an
Through
agent.
IMDb, I
We're
think. Yeah.
on IMDb. Anyone's welcome to reach out to us. We're very
Of course.
approachable people.
Well,
But
thank
happy-
you
yeah.
so much for coming on. This was
Oh,
really
thank you so
fun.
much.
We really enjoyed it, and we'll be glad to have you back
Oh, thank you so
uh,
much, guys.
for the Maple movie, if not sooner.
We look forward
Yes.
to it.
Pleasure.
Congratulations on the
Oh,
film.
thank you.
It was really fun.
So much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.
All right, bye. Get some sun. I gotta take
Bye,
vitamin
thank
D. I don't
you.
get sun. I gotta go.